here. We also have some really nice things to pair with the Chronosphere to boot, so there's still the potential for some very early engagements, which you kind of need when you go for one of these traditional support heroes in a core role. So I also still favor Among Us here for this game. I'm just not sure how the core Wisp is going to fare too late into the game. You do have a pretty good partner to run at people with Nico. That is very true, but I still have my doubts. We will get into game number 2, though. Of course, Adroit leading 1-0 thus far versus the SCA stack here of Among Us. They've just been dealt their first loss thus far here in the Summit 13 online, presented by Monster Energy.
And it was by an open qualifier team, by the way, so it's quite, shows that Dota at the end of the day is a meritocracy. It's not about the invites, it's about what you can do when you come through the open qualifiers. Let's see if Adroit can surprise us again. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting matchup because the proposition by Adroit, I think it makes more sense. When we saw the IO lineup by Army Geniuses, which tried this as well, I didn't like it as much. I think they didn't have a really clear win condition. It wasn't as stable. This one by Adroit seems much, much better, in my opinion. But Among Us still has the...
Yes. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Like, I think these quote-unquote cheese picks of... I don't even consider Snapfire meant to be a cheese pick, to be honest. I'm more referring to the Wisp core. But, yeah, I think these quote-unquote cheese picks can sometimes start to suffer against these very easy-to-execute drafts. Like, you look at this Among Us draft, and this is like a classic Dota draft, right? This is like, name 5 heroes that make a Dota team, and you're like, Silencer, Ember, Centaur, Phoenix, and, Faceless Void. And if you name the 5 Adroit heroes, you're like, when's the last time you played Dota, Grandpa,
I agree. I don't know. I don't know if IO would be considered cheese. He certainly has fallen off from when he started. I think like maybe 1.5 months ago when IO carry started being a bit more relevant. It was actually IO mid that was played much more so, not necessarily IO carry, but still. But it's an interesting choice. We'll see how this works out for them. I don't think it's cheese because it's not like a Huskar or Broodmother, but it's certainly not conventional, right? And also an Among Us draft, it's not just that they're more conventional heroes, also that they have everything a lineup needs, right? Yeah. Good pickoff potential, nice team fight.
What does a hero truly need?
Stuns! Oh, okay. Well, that was easy.
Okay. And TP scroll.
And TP scroll, stuns and TP scroll. Ideally, not at the same time.
Not at the same time. They don't go well together, no.
Yeah, the one advantage I do see in terms of Adroit's lanes is particularly his mid lane, where I think that the Snapfire will, especially at level 3-4, start to dominate an Ember. She can really easily take away your Flame Guard, and she deals a ridiculous amount of damage, has good lane control as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm not convinced by, though, to be honest, is going to be the Void Spirit 4. I think it's better than the Void Spirit off lane, and it's second to Void Spirit mid, obviously, but I don't know. I feel like he just needs a little bit more. He needs to be ahead if you're going to play him this aggressive style with the Yule Scepter. Otherwise, I feel like he just kind of Astral Steps in and dies, especially against a lineup like this, where they have his brother to root him down, where they have Centaur to stun him, maybe even, a Chronosphere to greet him. I think that he's just going to run into potentially a lot of problems. So hopefully he proves it wrong. Boomy's a pretty impressive 4-player, especially on some of these heroes that are usually played on the cores. We saw him on a fantastic game, frankly, last game on the Magnus, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to what he brings here.
That is true. That is true. And CML is also very comfortable on this Ogre pick. It really suits the style of Super Sacrificial 5. If I talk about CML, they want to kill Cuckoo, but nice spirits there by Zephyr, giving him enough space to just get away, essentially. And Ogre is strong in the lane, but Ogre...
Arch is going to get bashed, though, in the meantime. But, they actually get... Wow. I think he was probably dead regardless, but In Your Dream with that double proc on the bash is definitely going to make it a bit easier. First blood bonus, though, unfortunately for them, going the way of Adroit.
Yeah, and since a shared bounty at the end, it's not that bad. I thought it was going to be much worse for Nico, but committing to that kill to get the first blood, to also get the extra experience, and then you get a kind of divided gold for Void. The only advantage for In Your Dream here is that he got the experience solo, which is quite nice, but I don't think Slaughter's too worried. It's interesting that Boomy is cutting the lane here and also getting his own farm, right? So they're actually separating the lanes in two aspects.
Interesting, yeah, you got a point. I was wondering where the second hero was, and when I saw everyone disappeared off the map, I was like, is he under the tower? And caught the first blood there.
think that they also acknowledge though that the Slaughter has such a good lane matchup against the Void that you're kind of not too worried about it. What a nice prediction there to get in your dream. Can they get a second bash? They can. I think he has no time walk. He could be in trouble, by the way. Sethering Crush is ready. 10 seconds to the time walk, and your dream wants to bash, but he doesn't. He can't. He's too slow. What a play by Boomy, dude. That was a great Aether Remnant.
That really was amazing. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
God.
Macy's getting bullied by this Phoenix though, already underneath the tower, and will be continuing to burn up a bit. Actually, out of regen, so I mean, you got the Fairy Fire, but you're out of any real regen that's not just the burst. And this top lane is just absolutely bullying them right now.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I think IO is much more dependent on experience, to be honest, rather than farm, because you don't have too expensive items. And you farm rather quickly with the spirits, to be honest, because you can actually force them all to explode in a jungle creep camp, like a stack, or even in a lane, and you like flash farm with that. It's not too bad.
When the spirits are I think you need to get to level 4 spirits first, though.
Yes, yeah.
Before you can make them explode.
Actually burst.
Yep.
Yeah. No, they explode at all points. It's just that.
Oh yeah, they explode when they expire. That's right.
Exactly. But level 4, they actually deal the damage as you move.
Yeah, and then you can farm more efficiently with them as well because you have less downtime on the explosions. Blah blah blah. Sorry, I was thinking. I was like, no, they always explode. You're right. Yeah. But I think real quick, just on the Boomy kill, and him getting actually a little bit of farm is he's now going to be getting rotated around the map. That might be a kill onto Phoenix.
I like that Zephyr didn't even like wait. He was like, nah, I'm out of here. There's no way I'm baiting you out for this play because he knew they were chasing after him. But they might still dive this tower. Yeah. They actually have the capability. Zephyr has no mana right now. There's the Fire Blast. That's up for the Remnant. Cuckoo tries to block it, but he fails to do so. Nice stomp afterwards. Cuckoo might still die. The Ignite is on him. He's really slow. Io joins in, and the TP maybe a bit too late. March, are you coming in to die? No, they're on the tier 1 tower. They wanna retreat.
Yeah.
But still, double kill for the Adroit. This is exactly what we wanted for them. This is the perfect lane.
This is great, and of course they can afford to do this, right? Because Nico does have such a fantastic lane matchup versus In Your Dream, as they will actually TP Zephyr over in trees. I think he's just gonna go and rotate up for the bounty rune. But real quick, before they start fighting again, I think there's no point. Boomy getting a few kills, Boomy getting a little bit of farm on his own. Sure, he's only 4-4, but he's 2-0-1. That's really good because that addresses my points, the issue I have with the Boomy Void Spirit 4, where this is a hero that's kind of all gas, no brakes, and if he's playing from behind, it's going to feel awful, much like a Disruptor.
It's true. I think experience when you're a 4 is a bit more important, but I agree that getting those kills, especially for the extra gold, to get at an early Yule settle, right? Because you really only need one item.
It's all about the Yules.
Yeah, sometimes the 4s are actually rushing Ags as well, because obviously you can't afford to go for both as easily, and either is fine really, but whatever first item you get is all you need.
Oh, Cuckoo. They're partying again, top lane for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Remnant is ready.
There's a really good Arcane Curse though onto 3, so this is going to be a bit costly for them. March might even be able to get a kill in return as Cuckoo landing a 2-man stop with the stick charges. Actually should keep him alive. Macy needs to get those spirits out, but unfortunately there's a cooldown on actually toggling them over. It's not how it used to be, so he's not going to have that ready in time. Was expecting, maybe didn't calculate the stick charges rather.
Yeah, MC. I don't think too great on the spirits. I think he could have. I'm not really sure he did full radius there, but he pulled them back a bit earlier. Maybe he thought they were going to be more aggressively. Nico though in the bottom lane, he's completely alone, so you have to be a bit more careful. Even if you do win this lane against In Your Dream, you can get killed when your supports can't rotate right now.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that
Middle lane, Abed. He's trying with the Flame Guard. He's going to kill his brother at this rate. He tries to burst him down with the Spirit, but Boomy is playing around this. CML has no mana for the stun right now. 1 more second. There he gets a stun. Boomy has avoided them, and they're not going to get the counter kill here, but they also save Boomy's life, so it's not too bad.
Meantime, Cuckoo, now that he actually is able to 1v1 the Wisp, is going to have a pretty decent time pushing. He's got the Catapult doing some serious damage. And, well, my point is now, no, Zephyr's going back. But it's important to have the Phoenix here, right? Because the Phoenix tends to max, at least on the supports, the Fire Spirits to actually, you know, for the damage, but also for the attack speed slow is not insignificant to note here on the Slaughter, because that's really why his matchup is so good versus the Faceless Void, isn't it? Because of the bashes that you get, Bash of the Deep now being on every 4. And if they come a lot slower, that's a big reduction in your DPS, and maybe that can allow earlier levels of the longer cooldowns of Time Walk to actually live. Although now it's down to 12 seconds, and he will be probably putting a point in Chrono here. They might be able to get a kill onto him if he's too aggressive.
Nah, I think Nico understands now. Once you see the 6 on the Void, you put Corrosive Haze and you kind of wait him. You wait for it to see if he jumps you, and then you punish him if he jumps you. But if he doesn't, whatever, right? You leave him be. Because it's not like Void can trade easily with the lane. Because as you mentioned, Void's stuns, of course, are not predicted. You don't know when it's going to happen, so you just kind of hit him and hope that it's going to time block him. Whereas Nico can just have one ready for you, which is really annoying as a Void.
Mark
Top
might
lane?
be dead here. Yeah. Actually, I don't know. It's not a a position 4 Void Spirit, but if they try and I don't know, big rotations actually coming through into the tree. They actually have the ward there, so trying to maybe bait.
Oh,
here.
nice Snapfire.
Yeah, Mac laying down the kisses there with the vision. Maybe looking for one more. Is in your dream, forced to run through the globs. He's going to be slowed a bit, so there shouldn't be any more kill attempts. And Mac right back over to the mid lane to not lose on any farm. They are going to try maybe for the Centaur, but I think that's going to be a bit too difficult. No multicast available for CML. Abed? Oh, actually, he got juked. Boomy. He baited him there with the cookie, actually, to save him. He baited him with the dissimulate as Abed actually threw the remnant uphill.
Well,
Trying to predict that.
not bad, actually. You are saving yourself from some of the aggression that Adroit does. After all, this is normal. Adroit should be getting aggressive early, and Among Us should just be responding, right? So it's not too big a deal as long as you don't lose too many people. It's all about you playing defensive.
Kuku's really getting bullied up here, though. I mean, he's going to have to be forced to leave the lane. And it's kind of strange because he should be the person playing the dead lane. He's not even level 6 yet, though, so he can't really afford to be playing too aggressively, as he's going to have to rely on that Stampede to really be playing a little bit aggressive at this point. But even when the creep is close to his tower, he's totally getting bodied by all the magic damage coming his way.
Right now, it's not really your priority, though, to farm on Kuku. Unfortunately, he has to be the sacrificial lamb here because you really need farm on both the Ember and the Void. And they're doing well, though. If you stop the net worth for a second, you actually see that the Void already has... he's actually leading in net worth, Ember is second. So even with all these kills, it's still an advantage for Among Us. And now they're trying to push this mid tower. Boomy joins. He's kind of stuck with the steering chains. A lot of damage from Sunray. Only level 1, though. Honestly, the worst level 1 in the game, I think, is Sunray. You want the level 2 as early as possible because that's double the damage.
Interesting. Worst level 1 in the game. That's interesting.
I would say, honestly. A lot of pros agree. That's why a lot of pros actually ignored Sunray, but now, because Sunray is so useful, you actually get it as soon as possible to try to max it.
I don't know. Worst level 1 in the game. That's really...
It's just really awful, man.
No,
Really
I totally agree with you, especially as a Phoenix player.
now that they changed it to magical, by the way, not when it was pure, but now that they changed it to magical, because a lot of it just gets wasted in the natural magic resistance that heroes have. Level 2 is great, though. Level 2 is fantastic.
Back when it used to be a laser beam. Yeah, I mean, especially because the problem is with Phoenix, you kind of rely on either a slow or some help for your +1 to actually get a good stun array. Because early on, it's really, really, really weak. And early on in terms of its channel, right? Like, it's a little stronger later, but it's so weak level 1 because you don't usually have a slow to pair it with. You don't have anything else there. But that's a good point. I don't know what the worst level 1 in the game would be.
I mean, there are a lot of contenders, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm thinking like Nick stun level 1 is pretty bad.
No, it's still a stun. Any stun cannot be a contender. It has to be a damaging spell, to be honest. Like a damaging spell doesn't deal enough damage. I mean, Shadow Ward might be up there, to be honest, but it's a heal.
No, he's okay. Macy's gonna live.
Yeah, he has the regen aura from Satyr Tormentor, of course, and that heals both of them, so it actually doubles the healing. So you're actually realistically getting like 16 heals. Abed, careful. Abed. I don't know. He has a remnant. Never mind. He's okay. He's okay. I was expecting some sort of stun from the slaughter, but he can't really catch up.
I mean, nice spacing here for Boomy and CML as you excuse my poorly drawn circle. That's about what a chrono looks like, more or less, you know? It is purple, though. And, and your dream maybe looking to turn. They have to be careful, though. They still have the supernova. There it is. Abed running in. That's a free kill there onto the Ogre as Boomy will now retreat. But the rest of the team, they're looking for the counterplay here, Avo.
Yeah, they have a bash ready on the slaughter. Goes in. Immediate bash in your dream. Now the Slithering Crush keeps it in place a bit too long. But they cancel the Snapfire ultimate with the global silence, and your dream is forced to use chrono. He stalls time up now in 2 seconds, but the chrono actually guarantees the kill on Boomy, and they get away with a free kill here, not actually accomplishing anything on Adroit's side. So well played. Very good counter initiation by Among Us.
That cookie needed to come out a bit faster. In case you're not aware, the way cookie works is that it applies the stun when you land, or if you get dispelled, or if you can no longer move, it applies the stun immediately, which is very useful to counter both people stuck in chrono and people stuck in a lasso. But unfortunately, the cast range is pretty bad on Cookie, so Snapfire not the most mobile of heroes, so that's just unfortunate. But it's just Boomy. It's just a position 4 for the Chronosphere Spirit, but still a kill nonetheless, as they will be looking for revenge onto Cuckoo. And even if they miss the 8th Remnant, he's going to get the kill regardless.
Not a bad little counter kill down in the bottom lane, but just because of how well that top engagement went, especially with Void getting a kill on top of that, I don't know, it's not enough to really make up for it. Especially because Adroit needs to be kind of winning right now. This should be their timing with the Helm of the Dominator. And MCY is actually going to be rushing the Ags this game. And I say rushing because usually you see IOs delay the Ags as perhaps a third item because you want it with a level 20.
Yes.
Without the extra Spirits damage is not as powerful. It's still good though. It's still good. Like it's a nice little point of inflection, but not as strong as level 20. MCY in trouble in your dream joining in, but you're not going to kill it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad because you have the Spirits maxed anyway, right? So it's not like, oh, the Spirits are maxed and you have the Ags. It's whatever, right? But it's still going to be pretty... It's going to be meh until that 20 talent comes through. Especially because this game... Actually, I don't know. Is Cuckoo going to be going for a pipe? Not immediately. He doesn't even have a headdress, so he doesn't feel like it's that big of a factor yet. And, you know, not to mention he kind of didn't have a fun time, so he's going to have to recover here a little bit. It's still only 13 minutes in, so I think I'm being a bit rough on him. But
yeah, Blink is more
we'll see what he does.
Unfortunately, when you are a Centaur and you lose the lane, or you don't lose the lane necessarily, but you don't have the best laning phase, right? Not getting Blink puts you in a really difficult position because then all of a sudden you can only initiate with Stampede, right?
Yeah.
Blink opens up your game, and you know you're not going to lose the next 10 minutes, right? So you can just build a pipe right afterwards. Blink gives you more variability.
Yeah, especially because pipe is so expensive, especially from the hood.
You know? In trouble at top lane. They could have gone the IO, so Simil actually tanks the gank here, and he's pretty happy with this. But March gets extra intelligence. This is the first bit of intelligence he gets this game, so
+2.
he finally got into preschool here in March.
Yeah, not bad. I actually didn't really pay attention to how much intelligence he had last game. It was more just about how much he was dying.
Dire's
I mean, I hate to... It sounds mean, right? But... I guess it is. Go. Nice two-man in stun, though. Following up the global silence there to cancel the cookies. That means they're going to be very easily able to get the kill on him. Now Abed running forward. He doesn't even have a stampede, or did he? I'm not sure. You didn't hear it. That is now... Oh, the Phoenix, though. He's going to actually get caught by the cookie. And now the Scatterblast to nuke him down. March running for his life. She might be able to escape his mace. Oh, Boomy tether on back, respectively. Boomy, actually, managing to get the kill onto March. He's going to have to pay for that one. Play the blood price. But overall, Among Us only lose their 2 supports in exchange for the 2 supports and the offlaner, and they're not done quite yet, actually, as Abed getting stunned by the cookie for a bit. Mac looking to try and fight here, though. He's going to be forced back. Stick charges utilized. He has the regen rune, but that's going to be that, I think. He's pulled them off that tier 1 tower for a bit. It's probably still going to go down here, but it's a good fight for Among Us right there.
No, I think that Among Us, March right now is playing much better, I would say,
Yes,
than last
he
game.
is.
But it's also easier for him because he just has to wait for the Snapfire ultimate. He's really not using Global Silence for anything else, and that's the right play, honestly. And Snap is quite limited until she gets that Axe, because right now she's only... There we go. The Axe is finally there. Pretty good timing, but you really need to rush in this game, because until then, Mortimer's Kiss is useless, right? So this way, you actually have another way to initiate.
Oh no. Oh, thank God Macy dodged that. He might have died, and that would have been delayed the Axe by maybe another minute or something.
He left the Foreman behind, though.
Nah,
what are you going to do? 200 free gold for Abed is no joke.
The Foreman's like, the Union will be hearing about this.
Well, he's dead, right? So he doesn't really get to do much. It's like the Irishman. You don't really get to say much if you're dead.
Well, you know what? I never saw that movie.
It's about your city as well. It's a wonderful.
Oh, it's Chicago?
Yeah, it's a Chicago Union. It's actually, I would argue it's Scorsese's best film.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good film.
Well, maybe I'll give it a watch.
Very long.
It's just so long, you know. We're working BTS.
I watched it in three rounds, to be honest.
Boy, it's like 3.5 hours, right?
Yeah, that's why. So I watched an hour.
Well, now we're gonna watch Nico die in the river. It looks like he's gonna get completely chain stunned up. Down he goes.
Okay, the game is really going in favor of Among Us right now because you're getting all of these counter kills, which shouldn't be happening, by the way. Adroit a bit out of position. Oh, Matt shoots the IO with the Spirit Bomb. Global Silence used, and he relocates in time, but the Chrono comes out with the Supernova. They catch Mac, the perfect target. Supernova will finish around the Chrono, and Mac is going to get stunned. guaranteeing perhaps a secondary kill on CML, who gets the Fire Blast off up behind them. Boomy's trying to create space for their cores, goes for Abed. Abed is about to die to Boomy, but no fratricide today as MCY tries to go for the kill, accomplishes it, but for the sake of his own life perhaps, as Zephyr body blocks him. CML gives him some space, but Kuku's having none of this with a nice two-man stomp. Initiation by Nico. This fight is complete chaos, and we're not really sure who's winning just yet. March is about to die to Nico, but CML might also fall. Finally, Nico gets the kill on March. CML dies to In Your Dream, and it's a 3-4-2 in the end.
I don't think it's
with Nico trying to continue this though. MCY, he does have overcharge in a second, but he loses the tether. Nico's left alone, and without the tether, he's not going to survive. Among Us gets another kill here, and that turns it in their favor completely.
Yeah, I think that was a 6 for...
Was 6?
5.
Who died? What do you mean 6? Yeah, 5 for him.
Nico died twice.
Yeah. 5 for Adroit. Sorry, 5 deaths for Adroit, or 5 kills for Among Us, and 2 I think for 2 deaths for Among Us.
Yeah. My goodness. I mean, how do you even break that one down? I think it's this is kind of the weakness, right, of the Wisp Bag's second item, is that really the damage isn't quite there yet. In fact, it used to be on the 15. He's not even there yet. So I think that was a little bit too aggressive, especially on a target like the Ember Spirit, who has the Flame Guard, to neglect a little bit of that starting damage, right? So I think maybe it's the right idea, but it's onto the wrong target. And I think Adroit, they really then begin to suffer from that, as they're going to be fighting some more here. Kisses raining down onto Kuku, as they will locate him, and March as well, actually getting a little bit of love from the Grandma, as he will now drop at least an Arcane Curtain before he goes of Spites.
Boomy though could be in trouble as his player comes in and guarantees this kill. Matt looking for the counter initiation. CML, nice positioning, and they might just find him, but no, they're a bit too quick. CML, you're slow on that cast point, my friend. You're just an ogre. He charged like 3 times on like 2 targets. Neither of them were targets.
Abed is such a gamer. Let me tell you the reason he lives there, right?
Because he has 6 fingers.
He has 6 fingers, but also your remnants move out. I think it's like twice your movement speed, right? Which is why if you're slowed by
it's 250%.
Yeah. Okay, so a little bit more than your movement speed, or twice your movement speed then. But either way, he actually activates his phase boots right before he tosses out his remnants, just to make sure the ogre cannot reach him twice. But I can't really criticize that. I think that's just Abed simply being good.
No, I think it was the right play to try to go for the Ember, because honestly, if you get the Phoenix there, it's like, sure, whatever. If you get the Ember there, it's huge, right? So going for the risky play there, especially when you are the faster tempo team, is the right play, I think, by CML. But Abed's just too good, right? Yeah. CML now finding Kuku, but a difficult kill to get, and Nico says, yeah, we're not killing him. But it's clearly Nico, because CML bloodlust him. It's like, go! Nico's like, nah, we're leaving. We're out of here, but...
All right, a nice smoke play here out from the side of Among Us. What they can find.
Okay, the smoke is a bit of a... Oh, it's a bait smoke, actually, this time. I wonder. I was wondering what that smoke was, because you don't have vision of the enemy team, so clearly you were not going anywhere, and it's a bit too early for Hail Mary smoke, so it was just supposed to be a bait. Finding Boomy instead, he steals the bounty rune, and he just walks away.
Yep. There's a DD rune, though, so they maybe want to go for Roche now, and they will.
Nice. Okay, right next to Roche, quite a lucky DD rune. They don't have any minus armor, but the DD and the Void.
And the MKB now, actually. This is the new MKB, and it will not be scouted, actually. I don't think they know about the MKB yet.
I don't know that running song.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, but now.
He blinks away. They just wanted a projectile to send in. And they're just disturbing this Roshan. They completed that Mortimer's Kisses, no global science to stop it, so it means they still have the global science to fight. Ooh. They also preserve the Chrono and the Supernova, so the fight is completely in Among Us' favor right now. Unless you can see a great play by Adroit. Look up, Ed, no fear. There we go, the Chrono set up with the global science, Supernova as well, and IO is immediately decimated. Adroit don't even want to fight this. They're like, alright, you use both your ultimates, actually 3 of your ultimates, even Stampede as well, so 4 technically.
4. Yeah, I'm not so sure, but I think they're going to try and maybe go for something else. They feel like they deserve something after seeing all the
nice
used. And look at that, actually. There goes Nico in with the gobble up. He's going to get eaten and yeeted right into the fight, but now he's in a bit of trouble. 5x here from 2 Wisp. We're already relocating right back into this fight, as In Your Dream actually getting caught by the 8th Remnant. He's going to be actually killed. Nice job, Boomy. Silencer buys back, but he doesn't have the global silence anymore to be of immediate use. As Abed, instead, he's just going to continue farming here at some camps. Nico is going to be effective in scaring him off, and I think they're going to try and turn this into a Roche play with the Wisp TP and now to the outpost. Oh, nicely done. They need to get this. They will get this Aegis. All right, wow. Nice job there by Adroit utilizing the buybacks.
Yeah, they played that really well because they understood that their buyback is 10 times more valuable than Among Us buyback because, well, Wiz can relocate in, right? Which Among Us didn't have the ability to do. Oh, Smarter again. Okay, Nico finds March. Yeah, they want to eliminate March a second time. Goodbye to March. They also stopped Cuckoo, and this poor center has been stunned forever. He cannot last. This little to no armor means he falls quickly. Adroit takes 2 quick kills, very effective, and they're pretty much using that gobble up as like an ultimate, really. Who cares if they cancel your Mortimer's Kisses? You still got gobble up and a giant fish flying right at your face.
That's a dieback as well on March, which, you know, it's whatever. Again, he's position 5. You know, he doesn't have the ulti yet anyway, so it's whatever. He's not going to be of immediate use. But yeah, I mean, he decides to buy back, but as you mentioned, Wisp is one of the very few cores that the buyback is incredibly powerful on, even more so than it normally is, once you consider how game-breaking that is in a MOBA as a core principle of Dota 2, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, still with Spectre and Nature's Prophet, right? These are the heroes.
Spectre, Nature's Prophet, to some degree, the Storm, the Ember even, potentially. In very rare circumstances, a Puck, right? Maybe
Beauty Weaver playing, yeah, it's quite fun.
Yeah, maybe a Weaver as well. Some very use case, but with the Wisp, it's free.
The top 3 are Spectre, Wisp, and Nature's Prophet.
That's the highest tier for sure. But yeah, I mean, you can see that already that is much more effective. So there's another gobble up just to get someone a bit closer. They're gonna maybe try and catch Abed here. Boomy in the trees, needs the Yule Scepters. He will find it. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to actually continue sending him up. As yeah, Mac TPing to the tier 3 tower for the shorter TP is not going to be able to close the gap in time for a cookie.
Well played, honestly, by Adroit. I think even forcing out the Ember is fine here. You don't really commit that much to it, so it's okay. You have another gobble up play potentially here as Nico's farming. Nico is quite confident this game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. He actually used the Corrosive Haze there so he could push a bit quicker, but more importantly, because now he has the bash prepared for the next initiation. In fact, that's what Nico's been doing really well that I've been surprised by, right? Every single initiation, after the gobble up, he always had the bash of the deep prepared. He didn't have to charge it up, so he's actually always planning around that, which might seem simple, but making sure that you're always ready to fight is not that easy. Oh, Nico could surprise Abed here. Guesses perfectly. Nicely throwing Crush together with a bash, but is there any follow-up? Abed, here comes CML. But nice searing chains, giving him the space needed to get away.
That DD, oh my goodness. I made this joke yesterday, but I'll make it again in case you weren't here. It's the Slaughter cosmetic is the real shit thing. With minus armor, real shit, and he just almost 3-shot him there. That was incredible.
You actually can't tell the DD is on him really well.
Yeah, it's actually...
Pay to win, mate.
You can't even see.
Is under attack.
Yeah. So let's see. They're thinking about an initiation. We have another bash ready. Always Nico, but they're under a ward. CML should have guessed. They even put a sentry down. Yeah, the courier to the ward. They go in regardless. They saw him. Doesn't matter. Cuckoo could be in trouble, but he's the tank. So it's not the easiest to kill. And Adroit has to reposition this fight. Do they still want to go in? It's a bit dangerous. They'll settle for the tower.
They're pulling a page from Tim's here. Maybe, I don't know if they're going to go for 5 Holy Lockets this game. I don't think they're in that position here. But we do have at least 1 Holy Locket now on Phoenix. So the heals from Sun right now that it's maxed are pretty insane.
Okay. Another smoke here by Adroit. What are you planning on? Yeah, that's Holy Locket. I love that. It's my favorite build.
Yeah, I like how you were like, okay, well, they're going to go for a second Holy Locket. All right, now Sand King's willing to Holy Locket.
Yeah, it's a meme now, right? Centaur in trouble. They get him with the Aether Remnant, and Cuckoo's down. This is a pretty important kill, because it's kind of hard to kill the tank if the enemies are nearby, but not like this.
Just walked past the courier that had the BKB recipe on it for the Wisp. He maybe just didn't decide it was worth killing. Oh my god, in your dream, hello! VACs in chat, please, as they have just relocated directly onto In Your Dream and just nuked him down from orbit.
Okay, well played there. I mean, you're getting a lot of counter kills that you shouldn't really be getting, I would argue. Honestly, Among Us kind of farming alone against a lineup that has really good mobility and really good single target pickoff potential, so... Maybe not the best plays. I mean, Void, I guess, was in his safest place, right? But he was quite far, right? Okay. I was very fast. Oh? Abed? I don't know. Yeah, Abed has been able to get away every single time, though. It's March instead who's an easier target. Scatter blast to the face, then March was good.
Yep. Indeed. Still looking over at Abed. Good patience there from Boomy. He's like, nah, it's not worth committing the Astral Steps. I might die. I need these defensively. Didn't even touch the Yule Scepter. He knows that that's only realistically a kill if he has the Yules into the Aether Remnant combo, which he didn't. He's not letting this opportunity up, because Among Us, they could very potentially even be 2-0'd here. This is great play. I gotta say, before the series started, based on the performance yesterday, I wasn't really convinced by Adroit. But this is much better from them here. I mean, they're leagues ahead, in my opinion, of how they played yesterday, even though they did still got the 2-0. We'll see here. Is BKB coming soon as well to our Slardar. We have Io now with his own BKB. Clumsy Net on Ogre, which is value, because of course you can multicast that. And it doesn't extend the self-root or anything like that. Void Spirit going for the Ags, but he's a bit far off as he will break a smoke here potentially. And ooh, the Dissemblate out in time means he is going to be able to live here. My goodness. Just the game sense, the knowledge. That man knows. The Spidey senses were tingling there. Abba, have we lost you?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
The game. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
It's that point of the game where it's Among Us kind of repositioning or rethinking what they want to do. So they're starting to try to regain the map control that they kind of lost. They're banding together a bit more, trying to secure farm for the Void in a much safer way. Because until now, your Dream was playing really aggressively. And Adroit is quite the opposite. They're going, all right, guys, the game is starting to break into 5v5. How do we get pickoff still? I'm going to see here as Boomy attempts to do so in the mid lane, but of course has to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit hard. Self-heal Scepter buying a lot of time. Here's Nico again, baiting with the DD, and this time though Abed does well not to get caught by the Slithering Crush.
Is under attack.
And as we'll be farming a few tier 3 neutral items. Plenty of tier 3 neutral items actually. Mindbreaker for both sides. Over Destruction is a nice one as well. See what they want to go for as Adroit. They are going to be beginning to push this top tier 2, so only the mid tier 2 left standing in terms of outer towers for Among Us currently, as they will be looking to mirror the movements of Adroit, but the Fortify is going to make it a little bit scary. They've got a very nice ward here, scouting for any potential rotations, but they're not going to catch anyone there. Instead, the scan is going to find 2, and there you go, breaking the smoke very nicely is Cuckoo. Great position from Cuckoo. Great read. Great read.
On point. And this also, if he broke the smoke and they were closer to him, he would just tank the gank for his Void and he would leave, which was still a fine play, right? So it was a well thought out idea. Ingrid Dream continues to push now.
Oh, is the Ogre going to kill the Courier? No,
they're getting it to Boomy, of course. It doesn't really matter who kills the Courier, though. I don't know why they decided it was Boomy had to reveal himself, but whatever. They destroy the bottom tower. Not the most important one, but this means that you can start camping the enemy triangle pretty effectively. This is the only reason why. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, I'm sure. Yes. Kip. Thank you, mate. If your handwriting is that of a 5-year-old child, but the triangle breaks, and the only thing they really would like to take now is the tier 2 mid to completely take over this idea. They can also take over the enemy jungle because they broke. Sorry, they can also regain their own jungle. Sorry, because the enemy team actually has lost the bottom part of the map.
Big power spike alert. Wisp has hit level 20, so keep your eyes on those balls when he starts flinging them around in the next team fight, because they're going to be hurting quite a bit more. We might end up scuffling here right around the 30-minute mark for bounties. We'll see. Among Us have kind of just set up camp here in this sort of bottom jungle area, generally speaking, especially now that the tower's down. They've got a ward up. They have not really felt too comfortable in leaving. They will at least reclaim the outpost to make sure they get that 550 experience here. But, oh, Telescope's pretty darn good here for the Wisp. Greater Fairy Fires. Yeah.
I mean, it's better if you give it to the Ogre, to be honest, or something like that, or the Snapfire, or whatever, or someone that doesn't need a neutral. Because there's no aura anyway, right? So.
Fair.
I don't really like it on the Wisp too much. It doesn't amplify the spirits, you know that, right? So. It's only
cast range on the spirits?
No, because spirits aren't on cast range.
No. Fair.
Yeah, it's only for targeted spells. Yeah.
Not for the tether, it's kind of nice. But for relocate, it's so good.
Exactly. You actually can relocate to the last game.
You could relocate it to the next game for once.
Yeah, exactly. Just one time though, and then that would actually be so cool if we could create a time space continuum with Dota, and someone could just relocate in your game.
There's a Steam game called 5D Chess with time travel in alternate universes, which is the most confusing game I think I've ever seen.
Very hard to play. I've played a couple rounds. I suck at chess, and a 5D chess, that's even worse.
Yeah, we should play versus Winter. Frickin' GM. IGM.
No, I mean, he's just going to insult me the whole way. I don't really want to do that.
Well, it's like casting with them.
Exactly. Acronyms is going to be the next item for Boomy. Oh, no, never mind. I think he's missing one item. He's missing 1,000 gold. Oh, no, he got it. He almost got it. That's pretty good. So he's going to have Agonyms and Yo Scepter done for a position 4 Void Spirit. Not bad. You're going to have another bout of counter initiation. Nico, of course, had to sacrifice his farm a bit so that Boomy could pick up those items, but I think it's worth it in this game. very much like how Secret plays, and he goes, you're support, right? And he's like, I thought I was an offlaner, and Yabs was like, no, who said
No,
that?
I don't think so, sir. Give me this creep wave.
Yes.
Yeah,
And Zai always obliges.
we don't really have the items on Abed. I think he's just going to be lacking the farm currently. But it's okay because he's an Ember Spirit. So he has tanky teammates. They have higher priority targets here on the side of Adroit to dispatch of first. And Ember Spirit loves long extended fights, right? Because he can continue poking and prodding, especially with Daedalus. That is going to really help him out. I'm sorry, Daedalus. Maelstrom. I keep confusing my, was it Nordic hammers and items? Actually, I believe the Maelstrom is Greek, if I'm not mistaken. You know what's weird? A Maelstrom, which is Greek, ends up upgrading into the Nordic Mjolnir. How does that work? Yeah, I think Maelstrom is Greek. I don't know, is it? Well, I don't know. They did have, you know, the Mediterranean Sea. They are fighting here, though, near the river, where that Maelstrom could be very powerful, as instead Kuka just tanking so much. But there we go now. Nico popping off. He's found in your dream. The global science to try and interrupt this one is going to do a pretty darn good job. But look how big this slaughter is. Nico just trying to man fight here, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to do it. Abed gets 2 times more to catch by the ogres. The Goblin is not able to catch anyone there with the creep, and instead in your dream ends up with 2 kills there. A nice global science, only utilizing 2 ultis there, this time from Among Us. Big difference compared to the last Roche fight. So this time they are going to be easily able to take this Roshan fight.
It's Dutch, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maelstrom.
TIL. TIL.
Oh, that's cool. Today I learned.
This is why you play Dorcast, right? You learn history, you learn Dota, you watch great Dota.
I mean, this is a great Dota game, though, to be certain.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It is a little bit surprising, though, how they upgraded Dutch then into Nordic.
Yeah, that's what you do, though. That is literally a true upgrade, though. That's historically accurate. 1 kill lead only for Adroit anymore. Ayo still incredibly farmed, so he's quite happy with this. He just got the Heart to Rask. I think Ayo's one of the few heroes that still builds Heart reliably, and it's
so
good.
Actually, I would say the new Heart is much better for him compared to old Heart.
Much like it's really good on offlane heroes as well, but not so good in carries.
Yeah, in case you're confused, new Heart now just continues healing, whereas the old Heart had a cooldown of, I think, 3 and 5 seconds on melee and range heroes, respectively, for like a combat cooldown.
Well, no, it can also get disabled. There's a regen amplification for the new Heart, which gets disabled, as opposed to the 1% or the 2% max regen, right? So what happens is that for a lot of like carries, right, since they don't already carry a lot of regen, it's not really useful, because even if it gets enabled, you have 50% extra passive health regeneration. Who cares, right? Whereas the old Heart just gave you the passive percentage regen, which is so much more important. It was higher, of course. That's the point. It was like 4 or 5%, I remember.
Yeah,
which is why it's better now on offlaners than it is on carries.
I think it was actually quote unquote only 3%, but it just gave you so much raw HP that it was still an insane amount.
It was 3 times, right? So it's still ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they changed it a couple times as well, so it gave you more strength, which is obviously better for most offlaners. So that's why you'll actually see a lot of like PL, Spectre, people who used to buy Heart now buy Scotty instead. Yeah, it's also better.
Well, I really enjoy the buffs to Scotty. In your dream, looks like he was going to Chrono here, but he doesn't really need to kill CML. As instead, he's going to turn and face his doom. Down he goes, as we will now have the Satanic over on the side of Faceless Void. So in your dream, he's now gotten no +2 items here since we've last really seen him. So he is definitely still incredibly farmed, actually now finally overtaking Mac for that 2nd position in terms of net worth. It's still Abed that's a little behind the 8 ball, though, but he is still now with the Maelstrom catching up quite nicely indeed.
And Ember's usually the secondary carry anyway, so it's not that big a deal. If he's a little less farmed, he can actually do really well with just the right items, and depending on the game, it's just about how you build them, rather, right? And this game, I think he built them quite correctly. Maelstrom for a bit of extra damage, the drums as a transitional build, and the BKB just to ensure that you can continue surviving the team fights. And Adroit, it's looking tougher for them as this goes late. It's not like Ayo's actually that bad late, to be honest. That level 25 talent is really useful. But
Okay, he's okay. They don't have enough, for him.
And Nico had the Mindbreaker, which sucks because you actually stack that with a Bash. So maybe it would have been better if you actually now initiate with like 2 charges of Bash of the Deep, right? And then you silence first, then you use that silence to get a 2nd Bash, and you amplify it, but it's still really difficult.
They're going to go bottom now. Let me just check here. I'm curious now if we're going to see the level 25 talent for Max take the 3x multi-shot on the little shredder with the Wisp 25 talents of attack allied target to do for machine gun or multi-machine gun Wisp. Because Wisp is also a strength hero. These are 2 strength heroes, right? So they actually have very serious right-click damage.
Radiant
with the heart, of course.
With the heart.
And strength heroes actually are because agility is so OP. If you have a really high agility gain on a carry, that's just too strong. So usually the strength carries as a nicer strength gain for the most part. But these two don't particularly though, unfortunately. The Snapfire can turn into a pseudo carry towards the late game, and I like that he's using this. It's honestly also true that Mortimer's Kisses, extra Mortimer's Kisses is not that useful against a silencer, right? Because it's always going to get cancelled anyway. So who cares?
Someone's about to get enveloped, and they instead are taking the bait here onto Boomy as he will break their smokes. He will be scouted, however. Nice jump in by Cuckoo. That'll secure his fate here. Goes up the AUS scepter. Stampede committed here. Maybe they're expecting more, but they actually kind of need it just to be able to catch him. Boomy not able to TP out. Abed just up in time.
Mac is in trouble. He gets killed by the Chrono, but MCY is here to help. But in your dreams, like, yeah, sure, you want to fight me? No problem. They actually just got the leveler as well for Among Us, which is huge. One of Void's best items. Paladin Sword super OP, so I don't know if they want to actually change it, but especially when you're pushing towers, it's going to help you a lot to kind of start closing.
Yeah, now we finally have that Lotus up and running too for Centaur, in addition to the full pipe, so great defensive items here. Up 2k finally here for Among Us, which is going to be, well, not the biggest lead they've had, but they are slowly sloping towards that lead in their favor. Experience as well in their favor after a while where it wasn't solid 10, maybe even 15 minutes there. Now they're feeling pretty confident now pushing high ground. Aegis is going to expire in 10 seconds though, so keep that in mind as we might just be looking to fight here.
Yeah, we have Aegis, as you mentioned, expiring, but you stop Titanic and BKB. They try to calculate this Aegis expiration perfectly, but they don't, unfortunately. There's the Mortimer's Kisses, the global signs to stop him, but Cuckoo's still in trouble, and look how fast Nico's hitting. The guy's a bit too strong, tries to stop Abed, but takes a second too long to use a Slithering Crush. Instead now chasing after Cuckoo, Meteor Hammer first, and now going and destroying the Phoenix. They have a lot of team fight. There comes the Snapfire, ain't nothing to the Supernova. Abed also falls. It's in your dream, he's being surrounded. What are you gonna do, Void, against 5? Your team is already dead. It's only a silencer helping you. March falls as well, and in your dream, what? They actually gave him space so he could TP? No way!
Nico just crushes. Whoops! My bad, guys.
Why'd they let him do that?
Arcane Curse preventing the blink.
Interesting. I thought they would just keep hitting him, right? Maybe they were calculating the time block and they didn't want to lose damage.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. That was odd.
Wow. Okay, first of all, Wisp actually ended up getting all 4 kills in there. Look at the damage he did in that fight. 10,000 damage.
Jesus Christ.
At first, I was like, he's not doing any damage. He's not doing any damage. And then the pipe ended, right? He's now got that level 25, attacks allied tether's target, which we saw Nico attacking. First of all, they all started trying to go for Nico, but MCY is just too strong. He activated that Satanic, only using one of the greater fairy fires there, which is going to be amplified 1.4 times when healed over to the Slardar, in addition to the heart, just constantly healing. Satanic on top of that. I mean, how do you kill that Nico?
Seriously though, and we talked about this earlier in the draft, right? All you need for Slardar is a bit of attack speed and a BKB. And you saw how powerful he was. I mean, he has less net worth than your supports, right? He has less net worth, like barely, than Boomy. He's actually matched the Phoenix. Did not care. He made quick scrambled eggs to the Phoenix, destroyed the Ember Spirit. Centaur didn't stand a chance. Like, the bash is just too strong, man. Too strong.
Yeah, that was ridiculous to watch. They need to kill Wisp, which is easier said than done.
Yeah, because he has 4k HP.
But they need to kill the Wisp. Yeah, he's got 4,400 HP. And it's Satanic.
That's what I was about to say. He has Satanic now. Like, if you thought killing him was hard before, Satanic plus the Heart Tarask, which actually amplifies the strength that it gives you, so you even have this extra bit of regen from Satanic on top of the lifesteal. It's absurd, this game. I don't know how you beat him. And he also has the attack tethered allies target with the Snapfire or even the Slardar, honestly. A lot of extra damage with that, and healing.
Yeah, that's a scary moment there for Among Us. That's for sure.
For Among Us,
I think it becomes quote unquote okay if they have Chrono there, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But because then you at least stop the tether from attacking, or sorry, well, the Wisp from attacking and Nico from attacking, which is really the problem there. Like, the thing is, oh, go ahead.
The IO?
Oh yeah. He's dead in Chrono for sure.
Okay.
Sunray is so good. We don't have a pipe of insight on the team, right? Because Sunray is percentage-based damage, so that will boom, boom, boom. He is just going to be melting to that. In addition to that, they have just in your dream. I mean, he's no wimp either. The problem is just he's no wimp. He is a little wimpy, and he just has that bad matchup naturally versus the Slardar, right? Because he can't really attack and do his thing. But I'm telling you, a Sunray in a Chrono and that Wisp is a piece of cake. What we really could use though is an Eye of Scotty on In Your Dream. I think that is going to really make it a lot easier, because Scotty, not only does it reduce all of your heals and all your healing received, but it also reduces your self-healing, which is really going to be a big issue here against the Wisp. We don't have an Urn or a Vessel on anyone. Instead, a Zephyr has decided to go instead for the Holy Locket, which is totally fine, but we don't have any minus healing, which against a Wisp is a bit of an issue.
Yeah, I agree. You could have maybe opted for Shivas on Cuckoo as well in this game, or even on Zephyr.
Of course, Shivas now gives you the 25% healing degen,
which is not as good as Scotty or Vessel, but it's still pretty decent. 25% to 40, right?
Bad, yeah.
And then you get Scotty, because of course those things do stack, because they're an aura versus Scotty.
They stack additively.
No, multiplicatively.
Really? Healing degen?
Yeah, it's multiplicative, not add. So otherwise, imagine you could do 100%. You could even do minus healing regen, right? Imagine how OP that would be.
Well, I mean, I thought you used to be able to do that on no, because they reworked Veno before they got rid of his regen.
No,
Anyway.
you wouldn't get. I mean, you got damage from poison stick, but you didn't get minus regen. It's very similar to like when you reduce magic resistance, right? Like it reduces multiplicatively. It's still really good, but it's not as OP as it would be if it was additive. Imagine that 65% reduction. That'd be ridiculous. Let's see if they build him though, because I'm honestly looking for some sort of regen reduction. Otherwise, the IO is just gonna keep tanking up. Honestly, build a second heart. I'm not even joking. Man. Build a second heart and get rid of your magic stick. What else do you even need?
I could see maybe a case for like a Mjolnir on the Wisp.
Oh right, yeah, that's a good idea as well. Or even MKB.
Even maybe a Deso. It sounds a little stupid, but why not? If you're going to be attacking everyone with the 3 times, actually, what did we take? We did take it. I mean, that's value, right?
Yeah, it's value. I like the Mjolnir better, though. Maybe Dezo if you want to push towers, though, but I like the Mjolnir better.
And you go on the prowl. So in they go. They have managed to silence one In Your Dream. Nico though connecting out to 2. Big stop there, but now the Stampede and the Global Science both utilized here. Abed looking for the kill onto at least his older brother, the Void Spirit, but he's not even going to be able to find him now. As Nico pops up in the air, he tries to get the Slithering Crush in, but it's not going to matter. If BK beat up his In Your Dream. Now Abed looking again back for his brother, gets the net, sorry, the Roof rather, onto the Wisp. As in comes now the Supernova. Great stuff. And now the Chronosphere on top, but we need the Sunray, IO. We need the Sunrays. They actually be able to heal him up or prevent the physical damage from coming in. Now the Sunray, and look at his HP drop. Mac unable to save him in time, has the gobble up. BKB looking to try and run away, but now the buyback out from the Wisp as Nico running back in. Boomy's still alive. Oh, look at the multi-shot. Look at the multi-shot. They just melted In Your Dream. Wisp immediately back in the fight. March, he is going to get gobbled, eaten, and yeeted as CML, as Boomy is still alive in this fight, assisting onto the kill there onto the Phoenix. What a ridiculous fight that was out from Wisp. Whew.
Wow, that was incredible. That was incredible. I can't believe they actually turned that team fight around just based on, well, the multi-shot, really. And I was wondering what was happening by Mac, because he actually stopped like fighting halfway through, and he just did nothing for a solid 3 seconds during the chrono. And I think he was just trying to reposition, maybe gobble up with like a surprise blink dagger. But it was really well played by the Ember as well. Abed decided to...
Oh my god. So look at Roche. Roche is like, what is this?
Oh yeah, he just bursted immediately. You get Ags as well, which Slardar can take. Very nice. Yeah, that's really good Ags as well. Nico realized here that without the IO, honestly, he's paper. But with the Ags, it's going to help a huge amount. They actually go bottom lane to just push towers quickly. Yeah,
immediately there.
Try to cheese. Not going to work here. But honestly, you're not going to leave Mac behind. Just deal as much damage as you can and back. Oh, Mac actually swallows him. What? Oh my goodness. I don't know, you could do that. Yeah, that's genius.
That's balanced.
That's balanced, yeah. Why do you don't need to relocate back if you have Mac.
Alright, well played. Apparently gobble up it just works like that, and your bottom lane of barracks has been deleted.
Radiant's middle tower.
That's pretty crazy. Now they can continue further. They're not wasting any buybacks though. Void is coming back with 50 seconds to the chrono.
Chrono, this is so bad.
And it's not looking too good right now for Among Us as Mac continues to push these racks down. They're just trying to defend and gain some time, but like look at the tickles that Abed does to MCY. And he still has Aegis, by the way. You can never tell where he's looking, but he's always looking at your death.
Yeah, he's looking forward to killing you. That's
Yeah, exactly. In your dream, careful. Oh no!
Oh my god.
Immediately killed! He just got, like, severed from reality. The Sun Ray does deal a fair amount of damage, but still, Void disintegrated there.
Look at this. It's actually surprisingly, most of the damage is actually coming from the Snapfire. She did take the little shredder, uses your attack damage, so that'll be why. I think it's just because the Wisp projectiles move a lot slower. Cuckoo waiting in the wings. He's going to find the stun onto only one, and now Macy turning with the Satanic Active. BKB's all around CML. In the meantime, getting nuked down by one, but we still don't have... Oh, we do have the Chronos here, but he's going to get stunned up. Chrono now onto 3 heroes. Where's the Phoenix, though? Dead. We don't have the Sunray. They will be at least able to kill Nico. Abed trying to do as much damage as he can, but now the Wisp behind Equally, though, is not going to save the life. Now Macy in some serious trouble. He no longer has the Snapfire, as he will be killed. Booming run once, though. Run for the tether. I'm back. He needs to get back. Oh no, the bash rooted instantly. Boomy now is running in as Mac actually has returned. Already back in with the boost of travel, deleted. Everyone's just dead now. The Supernova is going to drop it on the boy trying to still live, but they actually have the damage to kill him. That's a dieback onto him, and now a dieback onto Mac. Boomy trying to escape with his life, but Abed running him down. 2 diebacks there already as Among Us. It took just about everything they had, but they are able to hold out.
My goodness.
And Abed now is doing damage.
Yes, Abed is doing damage. So is In Your Dream, which actually decimated them there. And Zephyr, as always, really useful. Let's not forget, this is one of the fights where you actually had the Sunray during Supernova, and you saw how impactful that was. The percentage damage against an IO with 4.8k HP is absurd, and they didn't really have time to really restore the egg, unfortunately. Okay, Boomy's trying to cut the lane, trying to gain some time because they have no buybacks on anyone, but Boomy is going to die as a result, or maybe not. Dissimulate? Boomy, you madman. There's no way you get away.
Abed's gonna chase. He's gonna try, but he's gonna realize he's getting his time wasted. Even with
he is the older brother, right?
He needs those remnants very badly. CML at the same time pushing this top lane. They're doing exactly what they need to do. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Avo though, 70 seconds without a Wisp and a Mac.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just gonna rush down mid, I think.
Remember. I mean, by the way, everyone has bought back in the game, so we'll just switch over to net worth just to see how ridiculous this game is. I think this is it.
Yeah, I think this might be it. I don't know if Adroit can defend this. Is CML and Boomy. What can the supports do? This is the time to show your metal supports. You might be disregarded as the most useless position in late game, but CML can still do something as Ghost Scepter Glimmer Cape. Let's go, CML.
Nico's back in 5. The multi-gas in the tower is kind of wrecking them here.
They forced the Void Spirit, or sorry, the Centaur back. Yeah, that's not enough. Nico?
Oh, Satanic.
Against In Your Dream. Global Science not good enough, and the Mask of Madness is working. He's perma-stunning In Your Dream, and he can continue to fight him, but Nico couldn't slither in question second time. Now he's stuck. He does have cheese, though. He does have the cheese. He's just gaining some more time. Io's back in 20 seconds, but the fish is already destroyed, and CML follows through. Boomy alone is now creating some time. The Supernova's committed. Boomy, they're trying to distract them, but they're not getting distracted. They go for the Ancient and take...